another light off, come back in. Okay, we're now approaching area within about 25, 30 feet. What kind of readings we getting? Anything? Just 5 clicks. Minor clicks. Reading impressions. One. Is that all here they are? Well, there's one more well behind. Security control. We're still getting clicks. Can we read that on the scale? Yes, sir. We're now on the 5/10 scale, and we're reading about third, fourth increment. Okay, we're still comfortably safe here. You don't have a light on? There's ready. Security. Can you have them? There's still minor readings. Second with gas orientation. Security. This one's good. Let's go to the third one over here. Yes, now I'm getting some residual. I can read now. The meter's definitely giving a little pulse. That's what I was going to say. Let's go to the center of the area next and see what kind of reading we get out there. You're reading the clicks. I can't hear the clicks. Yes, sir. Got about the center, Bruce? Okay, let's go to the center. Yes, I'm getting that's the best deflection needle I've seen yet. Okay, can you give me an estimation? We're on the 0.5 scale. We're getting... That's what we at approximately 01:25 hours. We're getting right at a half of a middle right now. Last point. I haven't seen it go any higher. Okay, we'll go out toward the... Now it's picking up. This is out toward the number 1 indentation where we first got the strongest reading. Yeah, it's similar to what we got in the center. Not in a pod. This might be in the center. Looks like an area here possibly. It could be a blast. It's in the center. That's right. You gotta take this my fingers about 3. Here's 2. Up to what? 7. What? Just jumped up to 7/10. Yeah. 7/10 right here in the center? Uh-huh. We found a small blast, what looks like a blasted or scrubbed up area here. We're getting very positive readings. See, is that here the center? Yes, it is. This is what we would assume would be the dead center. Just thinking about Morris to go along the whole area here now. Up to 7/10 or 7 units, it's called, on the 0.5 scale. Okay, why don't we do this? Why don't we make a sweep? Here, I've got my gloves on now. Let's make a sweep out around the whole area, about 10 foot out, make a perimeter run around it. Starting right back here at the corner. Back at the same first corner where we came in. Let's go right back here. Don't let it depend on you count the clicks. Right. Okay, let's start it. Yes, it gets louder. Then I can put the light on it and sweep around it. It would fly. Put it on the ground every once in a while. This looks like an abrasion on it. Okay, we'll push that way back and go around. Hold back, hit it there. And then the interest right over here, it looks like an abrasion going into the center. It is. It may be old though. There's some sound marks or something on it. Let's go on back around. Alright. So it gives some extension. Yeah, this is an awkward thing to use, isn't it? Oh, see, I can carry on my ears, but this one broke. Shut the quarter off till we find something. Take it on. facing in the same direction towards the center. Same thing. Well, let's go around the circle here. Turn it back down here. Pick it up on the collection. Let me see that. Well, that's kind of funny. You're right about the abrasion. And I've never seen a tree that's never seen a pine tree that's been damaged react that fast. Bottle, put that in. Yeah, you got a sample bottle? Yes, sir. Soil. Yeah, here, sit this on the ground. Okay, from now on, let's identify that as point number 1. That stake there. So y'all know where it is, we have to sketch it. You got that set, Nevels? Yes, sir. Okay. Closest to the woodbridge base. Point 1. Point 1. And let's go clockwise from there. Point 2. Point 2? So this tree is between point 2 and point 3. That 2 other personnel requesting to randomly use that location. Tell them negative at this time. We'll tell them when they can come out here. We don't want them out here right now. Okay, the sample, you're going to mark this sample number 1. Yes, sir. Have them cut it off and include some of that sap and all. Is between indentation 2 and 3 on a pine tree about 5 feet away, about 3.5 feet off the ground. There's a round abrasion on the tree about 3.5, 4 inches in diameter. It looks like it might be old, but strange as a crystalline pine sap has come out that fast. See those other trees here that are damaged in similar fashion? Yes, so I'm making toward the center of the landing site. Okay, why don't you take a picture of that? Remember your picture, and you gotta be writing this down. It's gonna be on the tape. Got a tape measure with you? This is the picture. Your first picture will be of the first tree. The one between mark 2 and 3. Meantime, I'm gonna look at a couple of these trees over here. You're getting rings on the tree you've taken samples from on the side facing the suspected landing site. 4 clicks max. Up to 4. Interesting. That's right. Where you're taking the sample now. 4. That's the strongest point on the tree? Yes, sir. Have you come to the back? There's no clicks whatsoever. No clicks at all on the back. It's all on the side facing the... Interesting. The indentations look like something twisted. It's got, as it sat down on it. Looks like someone took something and sat it down and twisted it from side to side. Very strange. We're looking at the same tree we took the sample off with this, what do you call it, star scope? Yeah, the definite heat reflection off the tree, about 3 or 4 feet off the ground. Yes, where the spot is. Same place where the spot is, we're getting that heat. Directly behind us, the same thing. One off to your right. Look, 3 trees in the area, immediately adjacent to the site, within 10 feet of the suspected landing site. We're picking up heat reflection off the trees. Like 5 and up. What's that again? Well, shine a light on again, Bob. Well, you have trouble hearing. Yeah, get right on the spot, and then when you want them to go turn the light on, you'll notice the white. Hey. You're right, there's a white streak on the tree. Indicates, let me turn around this tree over here now. Just a second. White streak on the tree. I can see it. Wait, give me a little sideline so I can find the tree. Okay, off. I lost the tree. Okay, stop. Light on. Hey, this is eerie. This is strange. Here, tell me one look at the spots in the ground. Whoops, watch out. We'll walk all over the back of these. Okay, let's step back and not walk all over it. Come back here, somebody put a beam on them. But you're going to have to be back 10 or 15 feet. You see it? Okay, fine. Okay, lights off.
He took this long to dock.
What do you think about the spot? Yeah. Want to see the first spot? Okay, that's what we call spot number 3. Let's go to the back corner and get spot number 1. Spot number 1. Here's spot number 1 right here. Spot number 1 right here. You need some light? There it is right there. Okay. Okay. Look around spot number 1 here. Starlight scope.
spot. Well, it really is the center. It's slightly off center. It's right there. Okay. We gotta get your reading on it right there.
Okay.
Tell me when you're ready.
Ready.
Okay, lights on. This is the center spot we're looking at now. We're almost the center. Slight increase there. This is slightly off center toward the 1-2 side. It's some type of abrasion or something in the ground where the pine needles are all pushed back where we get a high reading about deflection of 2. Depending on the point on it.
Yes.
So there's a positive after effect?
Yes, there is definitely.
That's on the center spot. There is an after effect. What does that mean? The lights are turned off once we are focused in and allow time for the eyes to adjust. We are getting an indication of a heat source coming out of that center spot, which will show up on heat or some form of energy. It's hardly heat at this stage of the game. Looking directly overhead, one can see an opening in the trees plus some freshly broken pine branches on the ground underneath. Looks like some of them came off about 15 to 20 feet up. Some small branches about an inch or less in diameter. At 148, we're hearing very strange sounds out of the farmers' barnyard animals. They're very, very active, making an awful lot of noise.
There's a pigmentation.
You just saw a light where?
Right on this position here, straight ahead, in between the tree. There it is again.
Watch, straight ahead off my flash right there.
Oh, there it is.
Hey, I see it too. What is it?
We don't know, sir.
Can I get some? Yeah, it's a strange, small red light. Looks to be maybe a quarter to half mile, maybe further out. I'm going to switch off. The light is gone now. It was approximately 120 degrees from the site. Is it back again?
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's the flashlight's in. Let's move out to the edge of the clearing so I can get a better look at it. See if you can get the star scope on it. The light's still there, and all the barnyard animals have gotten quiet now. Yeah, we're heading about 110 to 120 degrees from the site. I'm through to the clearing now. Still getting a reading on the meter. But
Now it's coming up. Hold on, there we go. About approximately 4 foot off the ground. Coming set to 110 degrees.
just turn the meter off. Gotta say that again. About 4 feet off the ground, about 110 degrees, getting a reading of about 4 clicks.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but
Now it's dying.
no, it's not. I think it's something other than the ground. I think it's something variable here.
Tree right on.
We just spoke to the first nightbird we've seen. We're about 150 to 200 yards from the site. Everything else is just deathly calm. There's no doubt about it. There's some type of strange flashing red light ahead. It's yellow. I saw a yellow tinge in it too. Weird. It appears to be maybe moving a little bit this way. It's probably not has been.
Yellow.
It's coming this way. It is definitely coming this way. Pieces of it are shooting off. There's no doubt about it. This is weird. To the left. Yeah, definitely. Two lights. One light to the front, one light to the left. Keep the flashlights off. There's something very, very strange. Get the headset on. See if it gets any stronger. Okay. Give us your rundown.
Notation is just hit on a beta reading too.
On beta reading?
It
Okay.
still has been removed.
Okay. Pieces are falling off it again.
It just moved to the right.
Yeah.
Left to the right.
Strange. We want to get left. Let's approach to the edge of the woods up there. You want to do a lot of lights? Let's do it carefully. Come on. Okay, we're looking at the thing. We're probably about 200 to 300 yards away. It looks like an eye winking at you. It's still moving from side to side. And when you put the star scope on it, it sort of has a hollow center, a dark center. It's like the pupil of an eye looking at you and winking. And the flash is so bright to the star scope that it almost burns your eye. Now we have multiple sightings of defiant lights with a similar shape to it. They seem to be steady now rather than a pulsating or glow with a red flash. We just crossed the creek, and we're getting what kind of readings there. Getting 3 good clicks on the meter, and we're seeing strange lights in the sky. Just really further, we're at the far side of the second farmer's field, and late sighting again about 110 degrees. This looks like it's clear after the coast. It's right on the horizon. Moves about a bit and flashes from time to time. Still steady or red in color. Also, after negative readings in the satellite field, we're picking up slight readings, 4 or 5 clicks now on the meter. 305 10 degrees off the horizon. And the ones to the north are moving away from us. Moving out fast.
This one on the right heading away too.
Yeah, we're both heading north. Okay, here he comes from the south. He's coming toward us now. Now we're observing what appears to be a beam coming down to the ground. This is unreal. 330, there's the other 330, and the objects are still in the sky, although the one to the south looks like it's losing a little bit of altitude. We're turning around and heading back toward the base. The object to the south is still beaming down lights to the ground. 400 hours, one object still hovering over Woodbridge Base at about 5 to 10 degrees off the horizon, still moving erratic and similar lights and beaming down this area. Alright.